My student lost her mother 2 days before finals. What my department chair said when I offered her an extension changed. How I teach forever. Last spring, Emily was one of those students every professor hopes for: curious, engaged, and diligent. Her research on trauma narratives in literature showed promise far beyond undergraduate work. Then 2 days before finals week, she missed class for the first time all semester. That evening, I received an email that stopped me cold. Dr. Keller, I'm sorry to miss class. My mother died unexpectedly this morning. I am flying home tonight. No details, no requests. Just raw information delivered with the numb efficiency of someone in shock. I immediately replied, offering my condolences and assuring her that academics were the last thing she should worry about. We'll figure everything out when you are ready. I wrote the next morning. I approached my department chair, Dr. Vaughn, to discuss options for Emily. I'd already decided to offer her an incomplete grade with unlimited time to finish her final paper. That won't work, Dr. Vaughn said, not looking up from his computer. University policy allows only 5 business days for extensions on final assignments, unless T here is a formal accommodation. Her mother just died, I said, stunned by his response. He finally looked up. That's very unfortunate, but rules exist for a reason. If we make exceptions, where does it end? Sit will expect special treatment for every life challenge. Something inside me snapped. I'd lost my own father during college and still remembered the professor who failed me for missing the midterm while I was at his funeral. Where does it end? I repeated. It ends with basic human decency. It ends with basic human decency. It ends with recognizing that our students are people first and grade recipients second. Dr. Vaughn sighed. Look, I understand you're upset, but no, I don't think you do, I interrupted, because if you understood, you wouldn't be talking about policies right now. You'd be asking how we can support a student who just had her entire life shattered. I was trembling with a fury I'd never expressed professionally before. When my father died, I wasn't grieving the missed birthday dinners or future holidays, I continued. I was grieving the conversations we'd never have, the questions I'd never get to ask him. Emily just lost every future conversation with her mother, and you were worried about a paper deadline. The office fell silent. Then Dr. Bond did something I never expected. He removed his glasses, rubbed his eyes, and when he looked up, I saw they were wet with tears. 10 years ago, he said quietly, my wife miscarried at 7 months. I was teaching 3 sections of constitutional law. When I asked for time off to grieve with her, my dean said, students are counting on you. Sawance matters need to be handled on your own time. He shook his head. I've been perpetuating the same toxic system that broke me. You are right to call me out. That afternoon, Dr. Vaughn drafted new departmental guidelines for bereavement that became university policy the following semester. The Compassionate Response Initiative now allows students experiencing significant loss, flexible deadlines, and support resources without complicated approval processes. As for Emily, when she returned 3 weeks later, I met with her weekly not to discuss assignments, but to simply check in. Sometimes we talked about literature. Sometimes we just sat in comfortable silence. Her final paper, submitted months later, explored how grief transforms narrative perspective and won a national undergraduate award. Last week, I received an email from Emily, now in her first year of graduate studies. I am writing to thank you, she wrote, not just for the extension, but for showing me that academia can have humanity. I almost quit school after mom died. Instead, I found my research focus. Sometimes the most important lessons we teach have nothing to do with our subjects. Sometimes education isn't about deadlines and policies, but about recognizing the whole lives our students bring into our classrooms, the triumphs, the trauma, and all the messy humanity in between. And sometimes calling out a broken system becomes the first step in healing it.